Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I am going to be doing a scrapbooking layout using my May kit from the Wild Hare Kits. I did get a deluxe kit this month, so I will link the unboxing down below so you can see everything that came in my kit. And today I am going to be documenting this photo of some mom friends. We had a field trip for our kids' school, and we all escaped the field trip and went and had lunch. So I had this photo that I wanted to document. I am still continuing on with 8.5 by 11 layouts, so I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock here. This is going to be my foundation, and I found this layout on Pinterest. I will link the blog down below to give her credit so you can check out her blog, but I want to use this as kind of an inspiration for the layout for my photo that I'm going to be doing today. I'm not going to copy this like piece by piece. I'm just going to use it as inspiration for some of the elements and kind of the layout and that kind of thing. So you'll be able to see as I go along how my layout is similar yet different to this one. So I have a whole bunch of pieces pulled out from my kit. I've already gone ahead and gone through all the different die cut pieces and pulled out some that I think that I'm going to use. I'm mostly going to be using items from my May kit. However, I did pull out some enamel dots from my stash. A lot of these are from past Wild Hare kits that I got, and then I just had some other ones in my stash that I thought maybe the colors would be useful. But let me go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and we will put this layout together. Okay, so I'm going to start by building up the layers behind the photo. So I've pulled out some of the 6x8 papers that came in my kit this month, and I'm just kind of eyeballing the layout that I had printed out to kind of get an idea of the sizes of these papers, kind of in reference to the size of the photo. So I did print the photo 3 inches by 4 inches, so I'm just kind of, you know, estimating things, nothing too perfect there. I remember that I had this specialty paper that came in my kit this month. It's this gold, like copper foiled acetate. I think it's from the Amy Tangerine collection maybe. And so I'm going to use a little pop of this. I didn't want to waste any, so rather than making one long strip to tuck behind here, I'm actually just going to make 2 tiny little pieces and make it look like one continuous piece because I feel like I need to hoard that specialty paper. So here I'm just cutting down some tissue paper. I'm not 100% copying the layers that are in that layout that I'm using as inspiration. I'm just kind of using it as a reference and then looking at what I have in my kit and kind of going off of that. So I did want the kind of similar layout and feel of the center piece right here. And actually in that other layout there is like a title word next to the photo, but I'm going to use this die cut piece that came in my kit. I think it says like the best things about today or something like that, and I'm actually going to type out some things from that day rather than, you know, doing like journaling a story. I'm just going to kind of have bullet points of some things that happened that day. Have some different die cuts that I'm layering behind and tucking into places. I'm going to use my tiny attacher here. So it's really just kind of laying things down, looking at what it looks like, and then committing, kind of playing around. This did take a little bit of time for me to put together this layout just because it was way out of my normal kind of formula that I use on layouts. And so I was just being kind of timid, and there's so many beautiful things in my kit this month that I wanted to hoard. So I was having to really like go through everything and decide exactly what I wanted to use. Like this, for instance, there's an entire 12 by 12 paper with this dark blue phrase pattern, and rather than cut into the 12 by 12, I just used the branding strip because I just have to hoard all the things. There's this beautiful linen 12 by 12 floral paper from Cartabella. Cut down a piece of that, and I will pull in a little bit more of it here in a minute. But there was this 12 by 12 cut apart sheet that had some strips of patterns on there, and so this is kind of my way of getting around actually cutting into the pattern papers, I guess, is just trying to use branding strips, trying to use some of these cut apart sheets for these accents of pattern papers on this layout. Let's see, there's going to be a little banner up there. I had quite a few banners pulled out trying to decide exactly which one I wanted to use. I'm going to go with that blue. I really wanted to use pops of that dark blue to kind of balance out all of the florals and other things that are going on with this layout. Here I'm going to layer some more of that floral paper just to pull it in. It's from a different line than the rest of the stuff that I'm using in the center of this layout, and so I wanted to make sure that it looked cohesive. So I pulled a piece of that behind that journaling card there. And now I can start committing to some more things, adhering things down. I am going to take this over to my sewing machine and add some stitching detail to it as well, just for lots of texture. The layout that I am referring to just has tons and tons and tons and tons of textures on it, and so I'm trying to kind of mimic that a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to have, that's going to be where my title is actually going to go on that label piece there. And there were these Dear Lizzie like type font. These are super, super cute. So my title is going to be School Moms. For this field trip, we went to Hearst Castle in California, and unfortunately, we weren't really allowed to go on the tours and stuff with the kids. So we escaped. We went to a winery and had lunch. We went to the beach. We hung out in the gift shop and just kind of had a good time hanging out as moms. So we had snapped this selfie at the beach real quick, and so I wanted to document that because I thought I was gonna have tons and tons of photos from this field trip, but then when I realized we weren't really with the kids, I didn't have as many photos as I thought I was gonna have. So this is gonna be how I journal that event. Now off camera, I took this over and, add that stitching detail. I always like to add a little bit of washi tape to the back of any of my stitched elements just to reinforce it and make sure that it's not going to pull out. It can be a little bit tricky to sew on paper, and so this just makes sure that it stands up to the test of time. And then I also ran that journaling card through my typewriter. It desperately needs a new ribbon, and I just could not wait for that to come. So I'm just making do. It's kind of messy and imperfect, but that's okay. Some of my points were like car snacks, winery lunch, Hearst Castle Museum. We saw some elephant seals, and just kind of wanted to document some of those things from that day. And here I can go ahead and start attaching things, and I pull out my T-ruler. This, like I said, is one of my most used tools, and with something like this, with these linear lines with the layers, I want to make sure that it's straight on my layout, because if that piece is crooked, the whole thing is going to look crooked. So I want to make sure that my photo at least is straight, and then I can also use that for this title piece as well, make sure that it's straight in relation to the photo and things like that. And this can go such a small detail, but it really goes a long way to make your layouts look a little bit better put together, a little bit more professional. It's still handmade. You still want that effect. And sometimes I do intentionally make things crooked, but for something like this, making sure those items are 100% straight just makes it look a little bit more polished. So now I'm going back in with some of the different stickers and those wood veneer pieces and adding those. The layout that I'm referencing has tons of like flair and buttons and just all kinds of things on it that I didn't really have, but I did have that set of wood veneer stickers and cardstock stickers. So that's what I'm going to kind of layer up. I'm trying to pull in a little bit more yellow. I don't work with yellow very often, so I'm trying to be intentional of like stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm going to use some of these yellow epoxy stickers from my stash and add those. And I just wanted to break up because there's so much red and pink in here. I needed to break that up a little bit. Trying to see if there's any other things that I need to add to the center cluster there. And I do go ahead off camera and cut out a tag from the different 6x8 pattern papers, and I think there's like a phrase sticker on the reference layout. I'm just going to add my date down here and have that as an anchoring spot for the date. It's kind of fun if you struggle with scrapbooking layouts and, trying to decide what to do for them. Check out Pinterest. It is okay. It's not okay to 100% copy a layout, but use it as inspiration and a reference for kind of where you want to lay down certain elements and things like that. Really helps you to get out of your comfort zone and get out of a rut and kind of explore some different ideas for your layouts and have them so that they're all looking a little bit different. That way when you flip through your album, it doesn't just look like the same formula repeated over and over and over, unless that's the look that you're wanting to go for. So the finishing touch here, I covered up my photo and I'm just adding a little bit of watercolor splatters just to kind of keep your eye moving across the page and tie everything together. And that is it for the layout today. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below for me. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used. You can head on over to the Wild Hare Kits blog for more close-up photos of this project. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.